is Michigan Congressman Thaddeus McCotter, who joins us live from Los Angeles, where he'll be addressing the Republican Jewish Coalition. Congressman McCotter, always good to see you. Good morning.
Thanks for having me back, Eric.
Of course. Tomorrow we will hear from the 7 candidates. What do you want to hear from their fellow Republicans that you are not hearing from them now?
I think it's representative of the base Republican voter. I want to hear that they understand the grave challenges that we face, articulate them, reaffirm their trust in the American people, and put forward allow the American people to get us through this very difficult time in our nation's history. Obviously, the economy is a huge issue in this globalized age, and what we have to see, or I would think, is a clear-cut proposal to deal with the failed Wall Street bailout, to make sure that the banks adequately recapitalize to get credit flowing down to Main Street. This is the glue upon which I believe all economic policies are going to fit. I also think what they have to do is address the reality that the imploding welfare state is threatening not only our fiscal stability, it's threatening the social safety net itself. That's why I'll be proposing a Social Security reform bill in the near future. These are the types of issues that affect the hearth of home. As well, Eric, I think they should start addressing foreign policy far more forcefully, because at a period of time where President Obama gets 52% approval rating for his foreign policy, the Republican Party, the party of Reagan, is clearly not articulating its position particularly well.
You talk about your Social Security plan. What do you want to do? How does that differ from Representative Ryan? What do you see happening?
Well, the Social Security plan that I want to put forward does so to bring us to solvency by allowing people to keep front-loaded part of their earnings. What will happen is the money, their benefits will come to them, part of it, they will be able to invest it to save it. It is not a diversion of the payroll tax. I will be putting this forward within the next couple of weeks to show that we can find fiscal solvency within Social Security without having to raise the Social Security age, without having to raise taxes, and without any type of radical privatization. So I think it is the type of outside-the-box thinking that we need.
Well, you were afraid that the Democrats could really pounce on that. We saw what happened, what they call, Metascare, dealing with that proposal that Ryan has.
Well, Eric, the Democrats are going to pounce on Republicans like dogs on a bone no matter what we do. You might as well do the right thing and enjoy it.
Okay. Speaking of Mr. Gingrich, he's there in Los Angeles this morning, and Romney, you had some harsh words for him in Michigan when he visited your district last week. Do you see any Republican candidate really breaking out yet? What needs to be done for there to be a clear, complete leader?
Well, as you pointed out, Eric, what's happening now, there are still people who are considering getting in. I also would like to make the clear point that regardless of my differences with the Republicans that are currently running, I vote for any of them over the incumbent Democrat. And I think that the vast majority of Republicans and independents should. Let's also be clear that the people who are going to make this nomination are not the Beltway geniuses or anybody else. It's going to be the Republican Party grassroots faithful, Tea Party activists who vote in the Republican Party primaries. They are the sovereign citizens. They are the true integrity of the party, and they will make that determination. Once that determination is made, I believe that everyone will rally around our nominee because they understand the stakes and they understand that 4 more years of this failed administration is not going to be helpful to Americans who want to pursue their happiness and want to find a more peaceful, secure world.
And your name has been mentioned in some articles among some pundits. Do you take that seriously, or is it just flattery?
Well, it's a serious consideration. If you think about it, Eric, I don't get flattery very often, and I'm glad that I don't.
Would you seriously consider that, and what would that mean if indeed you put your hat in the ring?
What it would mean is the fundamental understanding, as President George W. Bush once told me, having been the son of a president, having been a president himself, is you will never be able to go back to being a private citizen again. You will always have to live within some type of security arrangements. Your life will never truly again be your own. And that's a very difficult decision for people to make. And I think that that's the largest one that you have to get beyond because it affects not only yourself, it affects your family.
Would it be an ability for you to get your positions across more forcefully than you can now as a member of Congress if you are a candidate?
Well, I would think that if I'm a candidate, that would be it. It would be all in or all out. It would not be an instance to try to get a bigger platform to put ideas out there. Congress is a pretty big platform to get ideas out. The Senate is a pretty big platform to get ideas out. But I think that if you're going to run for President of the United States, you simply have to go, take yourself to the voters, put your message before them in the most vociferous and energetic way that you possibly can. You can't play the game where you got one foot on either side of the fence.
All right, well, you've got seven are debating tomorrow. This seems to be a wide-open race. Congressman Thaddeus McCotter, we thank you for coming, joining us this morning, and we'll look forward to seeing what you decide when, if indeed you do announce. Thank you.